What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, let's talk about a comment from one of my recently posted videos, which I really found very compelling, so let's have a healthy discussion about this topic. But before we start the video, do you have problems AFK grinding in ROX? Do you always worry that you may overcharge or the battery of your phone, tablet, or laptop may overheat? Do you worry about your electricity bill when grinding using your personal computer that is running for days non-stop? Or do you encounter intermittent connection from your internet service provider, which disconnects your character when AFK grinding? Well, if that is the case, then UgPhone can solve all of your problems. UgPhone is a cloud phone that runs independently in the cloud, and it does not consume the memory or battery of your physical device. Even if you close the UgPhone app, your game will still continue to run in the cloud, which makes this the perfect phone for AFK grinding for 24 hours, 7 days a week non-stop.
Nice.
You can also run multiple instances of UgPhone in one account, which allows you to play and grind multiple games simultaneously. As you can see, my Shura and Royal Guard are AFK grinding at the same time. UgPhone is available in Google Play for Android, App Store for iOS, Windows Store for PC, and you can also use a web browser to run UgPhone. So if you want to try out UgPhone, you can use my link shown in the description below. And you can also use my invitation code, which really helps me out. So thank you guys, and thank you UgPhone for the sponsor. Now let's get back to the video. So I got this comment from the last video that I posted regarding the things that I wish I knew a lot earlier. And I really appreciate this type of comments because this is something that we can talk about and share our own experiences with other players. We never know, right? We might get something out of this that might help us in our own gameplay. So again, thank you for the comment, and I really appreciate having a healthy and good conversation with my viewers. Upon reading your comment, you are basically asking for a tutorial on how, what, and when do I use my stamina in farming crystals and progressing my character. Now this is a two-part question, which I think needs a lot of context behind it because I am going to use myself as an example. But also, I just want to note that in my opinion, there's really no right or wrong answer to this topic, because how you use your stamina when farming crystals and progressing your character is highly dependent on how you play the game, meaning there are players that can only play the game for a few hours, and then there are players who can play the game for a whole day. So obviously, these two types of players might have a different way of farming and progressing in the game. But both are still effective, it just really depends on the point of view that you are looking at. Now for this video, I am going to show you my point of view on why I do things like this for my characters. For the first part, which is how, what, and when do I use my stamina when farming crystals. The how is very straightforward, as I farm crystals through the life skills in the game. For the what, or what do I do to farm crystals using my stamina, I usually do gardening and fishing. Now for the when do I do these two things, is quite inconsistent on my part, and it's not because of the game. This is where I need to put more context on the what and when, because my reasons are not really a part of the game. The best example that I can give you is how different I do things during the pandemic and after the pandemic days. During the pandemic, when everyone was forced to stay home and was allowed to have a work from home setup, all I did back then was to farm crystals using the gardening life skill. The reason for this is because I can still play the game during my work hours, no problem whatsoever. It gave me a freedom to slide into the game when I am not really that busy with my work. Now if you compare it now that the pandemic is over, everything has gone back to normal. I can't do that anymore as I am now back in the office and can't really play during my work hours. So now, I had to add the fishing life skill to my farming routine. The main reason for this is my playtime is now dependent on the time that I can get home to play the game. Now if I'm lucky, and I get home at the same time that the gardening window is available, then I will do gardening for that day. But if I miss the gardening period, and the next schedule is way beyond my sleeping hours, I'm just going to do fishing instead. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm not gonna stay up late just for the sake of a game, especially when I know that I have to wake up early to go to work. That's just not going to happen. I know my priorities and these are the things in real life, and playing this game is just a hobby to me. Oh, and by the way, I would like to give a huge shout out to these guys for their comments as well. Thank you guys for sharing your ideas about the fishing life skill in the game. This is the reason why I really encourage my viewers to make use of the comment section to have a healthy and good conversation and sharing ideas in the game. I'll try your suggestions about the fishing the next time that I will use that life skill. And another reason why I have an inconsistent routine nowadays is because I also play other games. If I'm going to be honest, I'm not really that focused in playing ROX anymore. You can always see my character online 24/7, and that is thanks to our sponsor UgPhone. But the truth of the matter is, 95% of the time, I'm just AFK grinding. The remaining 5% is just me doing my daily guild and event activities. Once I'm done with those things, back to AFK grinding. The next time that I log in back to my character will be on the next day after the reset. There's a huge difference when I was able to work from home and play at the same time versus now where I need to allocate my time in a day wisely. Now again, this is coming from my point of view on how I do things for my character. This is also the reason why I don't think there is a concrete guide or tutorial on how you allocate your stamina for farming and progressing, because every player has a different situation from one another. Now going to the second part of the comment about how, what, and when do I use my stamina for progression, if you've read my thumbnail for this video, that's basically my answer. I progress my character based on my impulsive thoughts. If I feel like progressing my character now at this very moment, as long as I have the materials or the resources to do it, I'm going to do it. I don't really have a definite schedule or routine. If I am able to save up crystals, novice coins, or smelting materials, and I feel the urge to progress, I just do it. If I need more stamina, I just use the stamina potions that I get from the tavern minigames, or open Odin's blessing boxes and then convert that into more stamina. I'm not the type of player that overthinks too much when it comes to my character's progression. I know other players do that, like for example, they will wait for events that gives a lot of Odin's blessing, like the double mission board reward, or what we had a few weeks ago regarding a free 1k Odin's blessing, and I respect them for doing that. If that's how you would like to play the game, then go for it. I will fully support you on that type of playstyle. This is the reason why I think there is no right or wrong, or even a concrete guide or tutorial on how a player should use their stamina in farming and progressing. You should always base your playstyle on how you actually play the game. This is the reason why I do things like this. I don't mimic or copy other players' playstyle, because this is what my time in real life allows me to do, which correlates to the context that I've given you earlier in the video. Now, to give more examples, I have a friend that is a stay-at-home person, so he has the time to play the game the whole day. He overthinks his progression so much, and he is very delicate with how he farms crystals, but the reason why he can do that is because he has the time. On the contrary, I also have a friend who is a whale or a spender in this game, so instead of him putting too much time and effort in the game, he just cashes in to progress his character. That is why, as I've said earlier, every player has a different situation and has a different way of farming and progressing. Now, which one is better? This depends on their point of view. Even if you tell someone this is more efficient and better, if they don't have the time to do it, they can't do it. It's plain and simple. And this is how most MMORPGs work. You are given multiple options of farming and progression. It now boils down to the player on which option is more convenient to them. The one advice that I can give you guys when using your stamina in progressing is to always use your stamina in smelting your progression materials. Because the higher you progress, the higher the smelting requirements will become, and of course, smelting your progression materials is way cheaper than buying the item in the exchange center. So again, my point of view is coming from a person that doesn't really play that much and doesn't really take the game seriously. Like, I'm the type of person that if I fail during my progression session, I'm just like, well, GG, better luck next time, and then move on to the next game that I will play. If I don't have the time to do gardening, I'll just go fishing instead. If I saved up enough materials or resources, and I feel the urge to progress, I'm going to do it, with or without any events in the game. So how about you guys? Feel free to share your methods on how you use your stamina for farming and progressing. Write it down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you want to see more ROX content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. GG!
You're a superhero.